So, I am going to kick it off. We have now got the lovely situation where we've got hats and poets, and you put the two of them together and it comes out something like this. I was asking the audience if anybody knew where their popliteal fossa was. One young lady did. I need a volunteer from the, or a volunteer. You! That's how we used to volunteer in the army. You need a volunteer for this, it's not you! Alright, like that. Now, do you know where your popliteal is? Yes. No. Have you ever been kissed, to your knowledge, on your popliteal fossa? Probably. Right. So what's your name? Sandra. As you can see, Sandra is suitably dressed for this because she is now showing her knees, commonly known as the patellas. And would you like to turn? Could you stand up the bail, Sandra? Could you turn around, Sandra? Sandra is now quite blatantly showing you her popliteal fossas, which are here and here, commonly known as the back of the knees. Thank you, Sandra. You may step down. That was very brave of you altogether. I was Ireland's first pug in residence in a secondary school, and one day they loaned me out to the old folks' home, and I went amongst all these ladies. I read all my love poems, and then they wanted to tell me all about their love lives when they was gals, when they were 20, back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and they all told me about all their love lives. So this is Mabel. So for the purposes of this poem, Mabel had lovely white hair, which she kept tossing so and so and so. And she wants to tell me about her love life, which is skinny dipping in the South China Sea, just missing the fall of Singapore, and her first kiss. So this is Mabel's first kiss, so you've got to believe, I know it's really pushing it all together, that I am Mabel for this poem. It's called, well, Kiss My Popliteal Fossa. I remember the golden tassels of my dress, touching the back of my knees as I was kissed for the very first time, bent over in a clinch, as if it were statuary. The tassel's touch exquisite in itself, much more sensual than the actual awkward kiss. I wondered if there was a name for that sort of thing. The back of the knees, I mean. Okay, Freddie, I commanded, seeing as I seem to be in command here. That's quite enough of that. Shattered, he reluctantly took his tongue out of my cheek. Cheeky bugger, I thought. Should never have let him go that far. Crestfallen, he stammered a sorry. You won't tell my mother, will you? Hid his embarrassment with his topper. I went in at once and asked of father. You're going to have to be father, right? Father, is there a name for the back of the knees? Of course there is, my love. It's your popliteal fossa. I tingled to my toes, having discovered my first erogenous zone and knowing that one day I would be a doctor. Thank you. One of the first people I met when I came to London back in '86. '86 was when Jan's daughter was being born. It was also when Steve, where's Steve? Put your hand up, Steve. Oh, there he is. Steve got this hat back in '86 as well. So we've got a hat that's back from '86, a daughter that's from '86, and this poem is from '86. I met a vicar, and he was a very rotund vicar. When I say a very rotund vicar, I mean he was obsessively obese vicar. When I say he was an obsessively obese vicar, I mean that he was like the Michelin Man, come to life in the flesh. And the curious thing about him is that he didn't like being a vicar. And I said, why did you choose to be a vicar then? And he said, because I like acting the part. And I am a very good actor, and if I may say so myself, I play a very good vicar. So he was a vicar, and I said, well, what is important to you? And he said, my garden. So if you can imagine, these are gladiolas, petunias, roses, weed. Sorry, Hugh. And it was lush, it was gorgeous, it was sensual, it was a fantastic garden. And I stupidly said to him, what makes your garden grow? What's the trick of getting flowers like this? So he told me. So this is called the nurture of culture. Have you a working pulse? He asks of his petunias. He went away cold as a snowball, he tells his gladioli. They positively beam at him. Oh yes, yes, he pontificates, flowers like Shakespeare best, especially Pericles and other minor plays, rather than the Great Dane, or say Othello. The Herbs prefer Gilbert and Sullivan. Really? Poor wandering one, though you were sad and lonely. No, no, my son! Spoken, not sung. Oh, sorry. Poor wandering one, though you were sad and lonely. Or sometimes a little dash of no coward. What compulsion compels them, and who the hell tells them? No, no, my son! Spoken, not sung. What could I say? His voice produced such a fecundity, such a fertility, that his word could not be doubted. Oh yes, plants like to be spoken to, but prefer a little culture. Thank you. I shall now close with a poem called I Am Infinitas. And to show you that that's no lie, does that not say I Am Infinitas, which is the Latin for infinity. I was teaching my little girl her numbers and her letters with wooden blocks and a pea shooter. And I get her to get the pea shooter, and I'd say, hit me an O, and she'd go, and knock down an O, which is not as easy as it looks, because that pea can go through the O. Thomas More used to have the same idea with his daughters when he was teaching them their numbers, but he used archery, so nothing is new. I was watching, she wanted to do this really badly. She was a very eager little girl altogether. And I was watching the end of Spartacus when it got to the climatic part of, I'm Spartacus, no, I'm Spartacus, and so is my wife. And everybody is Spartacus. So she cuddled into me, listened to that, and she ran around the house going, I'm spark plugs, no, I'm spark plugs, because that is what she heard. So let's get back to teaching Tilly her letters. I am Infinitas. Here is our wooden O. It is our 0, yellow. There is a 7, but it is missing. The puppy's chewing an orange too. Puppy, no! The admonished puppy looks astonished. This is a good chew, this orange too. It whimpers. You whimper? Stop, you're breaking my heart. She herself is 4 and a little bit more. When will I be this one? That's an 8, I tell her. It will take you 4 more years of being you to be it. The 8th has fallen on its side asleep, become an infinity. Ah, infinitas. My little infant, this is what you really are. This unboundedness of you, an infinity of you. Always after, when asked what age she is, she'll always answer with a hearty laugh, I am infinitas. I left my poetry hat, and now put on my introduction hat. I would like to go on and read more poems for you, but I can't, because as you can see, there's a whiting close behind me, and it's treading on my tail. When I say a whiting, I mean cat whiting, who can poem, who can dance, who can draw, and enjoy the colour breathe simultaneously. I've never known anyone who's so mentally ambidextrous like that. But Kat, would you like to take over from me? Because I'm trying to get off here, please. We're going to end now. Thank you very much for coming. Oh, you may wonder where you think I keep all my poems in my head, but no, they're just under my hat. I knew it was someplace. You might have been aware of Scotland trying to sneak out of being British at one stage. Long before that, Jan and I. Jan is very English, as you can hear her speak, and I'm very Irish altogether like that. But we still come together and we still make things tick over. So this is a poem called The Pursuit of Happiness. I decided to declare our home in Guildford another country. So, Pursuit of Happiness. We declare this our bedroom an independent dominion. We secede from the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth of Nations, although still enjoying our European unions, with respect to friends. Us, a republic of love, with this nation of two out on our own, our newfound land as done had done. A currency of caresses, our national tongue kisses, needing nothing but the other to complete our independence, flying the flag of happiness in this our brave new world of love. Thank you.